Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Budapest, the capital of Hungary. I hope everybody is having a good week so far, staying healthy and strong. Welcome members. This is a members chat class. To become a member, click the join button beside the subscribe button. Of course, everybody is welcome to watch, and we will have an all chat class coming up in 90 minutes focusing on the reading section. Hi Michael, hi Daniil, hi Samuel, hi Bisser. Nice to see everyone. Bisser, let's start with a quick correction. Hope you have a great day. When we say that in the present tense in English, Bisser, it means for the future. If you're wishing that everybody is having a great day, Bisser, use the present continuous. It's kind of a unique situation. So when we're talking to somebody in real time, Bisser, the correct expression is hope you are having a great day, continuously. Hope you are having a great day. When we say goodbye, we say, hope you have a great day, goodbye, and then we leave. I'm not leaving anyone, but just letting you know, Bisser, okay? So hope you have a great day is for when you bid somebody farewell, and when you greet them, you say, hope you are having a great day. It's kind of a tricky one, but I thought I'd let you know, just so you know that little difference, okay? And I think many other students wouldn't want to know that as well. Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Hassan. Hi, Hina. Hi, Alexander. All right, everyone. While we wait for a few more of your fellow members, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic English success. Definitely visit us there. Join our premium package and study from some of the best materials available online for the IELTS exam. For the general version of the test, visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have loads and loads of great materials for you. The academic website looks like this with a blue background. You just have to click that big red button to join the premium package. And for the general, it's a green background. Click that big red button and use this code R4TY to get a 20% discount from that premium package. So giving you a little bit of extra help for that. Of course, certain members have access as well, depending on your membership level. Now, if you have questions, just send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com and I will happily answer that for you. All right, members. So lots of you in the class. That's fantastic. Today is task 2 writing. Let's get right into our question for the day. This question was sent by one of our members. I can't remember who, because I just make the list and I don't really add the name who's requesting. Maybe I'll try to do that in the future. But it was sent by one of our members back in May, I believe, and I just got kind of lost with all of the other questions. And I saw it the other day and I thought to myself, what a great task 2 question to do in class. So I scheduled it. Let's read this carefully. Oh, Dr. Krishna says, I sent this one. Okay, Dr. Krishna, there you go. Good send. Thank you. Okay, so here's the task 2 writing question. Let's read this. Always the first step, students, is read it carefully. Don't rush. Here's a little tip for you that could really help you a little bit in the exam. When you finish your reading section, because of course the writing section comes right after the reading section, and at the end of the reading section, there is no 10 minutes to transfer your answers or anything like that, not like in the listening. So in the reading, you literally go right from the reading into the writing. So you're doing reading for 1 hour. After your 1 hour is up, the vigilator for the exam, the proctor, will say, okay, your reading exam is now finished. Please close that section of the book or of the question booklet, and now we'll start with the writing section. So when that happens, here's a little tip, okay? This can really help you. This is a mental, kind of a mental exercise here. Okay, so once you switch from your, and whether you're doing the paper-based or the computer-based, I recommend this for both, okay? So once you switch from your reading to your writing section, take a 10-second break. Okay. Look up and practice this at home so it becomes a part of your test taking skills. Okay. So look up from your paper. Take 3 deep breaths. Remember the right strategies for task 1, and then look back at the paper and start writing. Okay, so basically it's like you're switching gears here. Hi Alves, thanks for joining again. So it's like kind of like switching gears, right? So you're reading, and then you give your mind a little bit of a break. So you look up, take a deep breath, think, okay, task 1, I have to really identify what kind of graph. It's an expository essay, third person. Take a couple more deep breaths and then start going, okay? So give your brain a little bit of a chance to switch gears. All right, let's read this question and then I'll answer your question, Bisser, okay? So here we go. IELTS Task 2 writing, you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Psychologists have known for many years that colors can affect how people feel. For this reason, attention should be given to color schemes when decorating places such as offices and hospitals. How true is this statement? There's a typo there. How much does the color influence people's health and capacity of work? Okay, so that's our question here. And now we get into a little bit of analysis. So let's paraphrase this. Now, Bisser is asking, how important is it to spell color as C-O-L-O-R-S, right? Or with the U. So, of course, that's the British-American difference, Bisser. It's okay if you mix the British and American spelling. So sometimes people freak out. And a long time ago, IELTS used to be a little bit more picky about American versus British spelling. But in fact, because I'm Canadian, I know this, Canadian English actually will mix British and American spelling. So you can mix it, just make sure you have the correct spelling. So it's okay if you mix American and British spelling. Now, of course, having said that, keep this in mind, Bisser and students, that if you write the word color, C-O-L-O-U-R, make sure you write it the same way throughout the whole paper. So don't suddenly switch and write color in the American spelling. That's not good, okay? So it's okay if you mix American and British spelling because then you actually have Canadian spelling. Now, there is a standard to Canadian spelling, but we don't need to get into that, okay? So if you mix American and British spelling, it's okay because you are then writing with Canadian English, which is, of course, a very accepted form of English as well. However, do not use both American and British spelling for the same word in the essay or in your writing section, even between task 1 and task 2. Okay, so if that's not clear, let me know, but hopefully that makes sense. All right. So if you start with O-U-R, then that's what you stay with. Okay, so let's paraphrase this first. So again, in the actual exam, it's still a good idea to paraphrase. Now, this lesson is titled Quick Writing, and ironically, the way to write quickly in the IELTS and effectively is to do planning, okay? Planning does not take time from your essay. It actually adds value and speed, because knowing what you will write clearly actually makes your writing a lot more effective, and you'll get a higher band, okay? So planning is key to quick writing, okay? Planning, contrary to what many people believe, is key to writing quick and high level essays, okay? All right. So go ahead, members, paraphrase this question here. And I'm going to do the same, and then we'll do some comparisons, okay? So, okay. So, I see that a lot of you have beaten me to the punch. That's great. Okay. And let's read and compare. So I'll read mine first this time. We're going to move along nice and quickly here. So here I paraphrase the original question. Let's read the original one more time. At home, it's a good idea to really pay attention at this stage. Make sure you don't write a whole essay and go off topic, okay? So this is the foundation for your essay to do this paraphrasing. Of course, as you know, when you have a strong foundation, you have a strong house and building on top. If you have a weak foundation, your building tends to fall apart. So does the essay. Psychologists have known for many years that colors can affect how people feel. For this reason, attention should be given to color schemes when decorating places such as offices and hospitals. How true is this statement? How much does the color influence people's health and capacity to work? Professionals are aware for quite some time that colors impact people's mood. As a result, time should be dedicated to choosing colors while building and furnishing establishments such as work and study spaces. Now, I just realized it's not study spaces. This is talking about hospitals. So I have to correct that in my paraphrasing, such as work and medical spaces, right? Because hospitals are medical spaces. To what degree is this idea agreeable? To what extent do colors affect people's performance and condition? Okay, so a couple of corrections to my paraphrase. Now I'm very confident about what the question's asking, and I have a good idea about my direction. All right, let's see what others have. So Alves says, medical professionals have shown the effects of color on human behavior and emotions. For this reason, this should be taken into consideration when designing and painting a place, especially places like hospitals and offices. Very good, Alves. Okay, make sure, Alves, to do the full paraphrase. So how true is this, and how much should this be considered, right? So what we have there as well. Hassan says, certain colors make people feel happy while others can have the opposite effect. Therefore, it is important to study the effects of color schemes on humans before designing places that people occupy. Okay, Hassan, the right direction. Careful, Hassan, not to go into too much detail with your paraphrase. So you're writing that certain colors make people feel happy. That's a specific mood, right? But we could argue that colors also might help people feel energetic or lethargic, meaning tired as well. So careful with that, Hassan, because that's a little bit more for the body paragraphs, and you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. Pigeonhole means that you don't want to trap yourself in a narrow thought, okay? So with the paraphrasing, Hassan, try to stay fairly close to the question, and then you can expand during your critical thinking, all right? Daniil says, psychologists are aware of the fact that colors impact people's mind. Knowing this, there should be more emphasis on decorating and managing commercial organizations with lots of workers. Okay, Daniil, right direction, careful. I think you're adding a little bit of information in there that's not there. Bekjan says, experts have been aware of the fact that colors can influence the way individuals feel. Therefore, the importance ought to be given. Okay, let's simplify that, Bekjan. Therefore, importance should be given to colors when decorating facilities such as workplaces and hospitals. Okay, good. Samuel says, it is believed that color schemes, which were long known to have a positive effect on people's behavior, should be thought of while designing medical and work spaces. Good, Samuel. Very good. Nice. Rajveer, for many years, medical experts believe that colors affect the way individuals feel. Therefore, color schemes should be carefully designed while decorating places such as offices and hospitals. Is this statement true? How much does color impact people's health and ability to work? Rajveer, that's good. Okay, I like how you paraphrased the question as well, and that's important to do, so make sure to do that, okay? All right, so what's the topic here? Okay, so let's move nice and fast. Let's try to really dig in today into this question. So what's the topic? Yeah, Bekjan, that's a nice way to finish the question. Yeah, topic is colors, right? Okay, sure. All right, good. So, what's the controlling idea? Or the controlling ideas? So what is the controlling idea? Here the topic is quite simple. Here the controlling ideas are perhaps a little bit more challenging. So Pooja says it's about feelings related to colors. Partially. That's partially it. Samuel says the effects of colors on people. Partially it. Okay, that's partially it. Michael Fan says the impact of colors on humanity. Okay. Boomy says the influence of color on health and work. Yeah, that's more accurate. So Boomy has the more accurate controlling idea here. Yeah, students, be really careful with this. So the question starts off with people's mood, but then the question becomes more specific and asks about choosing colors for workplaces and medical spaces. Okay? So you have to really focus in on the specific question. It's not just daily life. Specifically, they've chosen the words hospitals and offices, okay? Looking at the original always when you're thinking of controlling ideas. Offices and hospitals. So the most accurate, and you have to be really accurate, okay? Be accurate here so that you stay on topic. Okay, accurate and precise as possible. So the effect of colors on people's mood, specifically health and energy, and the need for attention to this when designing offices and hospitals. Okay, so for the IELTS, you really have to just stick to the question. So this is kind of a long controlling idea, but that's the full controlling idea, and you definitely should stick to it. Okay, it's really, really important. All right. So now we get into some quick critical thinking. Okay, the next step, of course, critical thinking. And critical thinking, what should be my first question here? So what is the first question? So Boomy says what, why, how. Okay, that's good, Boomy, but give me the very specific question that I'm looking for here. And again, perhaps in the real exam, I'm only doing this in my head. I'm not writing this down, but I'm doing this in my head so that I can come up with some really good ideas in language. Okay, and Abhishek says, what is color? Very good. That's a great question to ask for this essay. And what's the answer to that? So what is color? Okay, I think that's a fair question. Not all living creatures see in color. In fact, humans see more colors than any other living creature on the planet. So colors are quite unique, especially at the level that humans see them. Colors are very, very unique. And I know that in India, you even have the Festival of Colors, which is one of the biggest celebrations in the year. So obviously colors are quite special for the human. And so what is a color? What is seeing blue, seeing orange, seeing green and yellow? Okay, Abhishek says it's a holy festival. Absolutely. I don't know much about it, Abhishek, but I do know that it's a celebration of color. Okay, which is fantastic. I think it's a great celebration. Okay. So Maksud says color is the aspect of objects caused by different qualities of light being reflected or emitted from them. Very good. So Sammy says color is a form which gives a significant value. That's maybe a why answer, Sammy, but what is color? Okay. So here you're probably thinking, oh yeah, that's not a bad question to ask here. Yeah, Janelle says it's Diwali is the name of it. Yeah. So it's a spectrum of light, Boomy. You're close. The word here is not shade, but it's a spectrum of light. It is the observed spectrum of light, which is, or that is, reflected by a specific surface and perceived and interpreted by the human mind. Okay, different people see different colors differently, right? So here's the answer, and I know it's a little bit scientific, but certainly if you can think about this, you're going to be on a better track for giving a good answer to this question, right? Just asking this question and answering it correctly makes you think a lot more deeply and correctly about the answer to this task too. So it is the observed spectrum of light that is reflected by a specific surface and perceived and interpreted by the human mind. Now, of course, I studied psychology, I studied color, so that definition comes a little bit easier for me. But as long as you come up with something similar, you're okay. Okay? Bisser. So Bisser's saying, sir, what if I can't come up with an answer? Okay. You should be able to come up with it is a value of light that is perceived by a person. Okay. So Bisser has a good question here. Bisser says, hey, what if I can't come up with something like that? I mean, okay, I don't necessarily need that super band 9, but I want to get a 758. Then come up with something like this. It's a value of light that is perceived by a person. Okay, Bisser, you should still be able to come up with that because most of us do learn about light at this level in our grade 1 to 12, okay? All right, and it varies from person to person. Okay, so the next question here is why do we, and hopefully you'd come up with this as on your own as well. So why do humans perceive colors? That's a good question. What do you think? So Rajveer, we're not going to get into that yet. So Rajveer says, why do colors impact human mood? That might be the next one. But why do we even see colors? So let's keep it simpler, Rajveer, for the topic. Why do we even see colors? What do you think is the purpose for humans being able to see colors? It's kind of an interesting question. And this, if you think about it, makes us among the greatest hunters in the natural world. So even way before all of our technology, we're exceptional at hunting because we see colors. So why would we see colors? And I know this from my own hunting experiences that unfortunately animals, very colorful animals, will kind of hide beside a tree thinking that nobody can see them, or at least a human can't. Yeah, Rajveer Singh says, colors are important to differentiate. Like white is a symbol of peace, red is mainly to show danger. Sure, Rajveer, that's good. Yeah, but the key answer here, Rajveer, simply, it's to differentiate. Yeah, absolutely. So colors help us to see more clearly and distinctly, right? So primarily, colors help humans to differentiate and distinguish to a great extent, and to categorize and so on, okay? Yeah, absolutely, right? So when we see that the cloud is gray, we think, hey, that's probably a rain cloud. When we see that it's white, we're not so worried. So it's an evolutionary leap for humans that helps us to be more precise in our visual interpretation of the world, right? Okay. Number 3. How do we see colors? So this one's maybe a little bit tricky, but I'm hoping that at least some of you are, remembering this information from your studies. Okay, so how do we see colors? How do we see colors? What happens? Okay, and I'm going to give you the English for this, but if somebody can come up with it, that's great. So light is captured by our retina, which has rods and cones. Rods see black and white, and cones see the other colors of the spectrum. Of course, this information is sent to the brain, if you want to be very specific, the occipital lobe for interpretation. Okay, so I'm giving you the technical English because I love teaching you some words and concepts at the same time that we're picking up English. Okay, it's a great way to learn English, is just to learn information as well. Now, Begjan says through our eyes, of course. So if you know the word eyes, that's great. If you know the word retina, okay, retina, the pronunciation is retina. It's the retina, then that will, of course, help you with lexical resource. If you know the words rods and cones, that's even better, okay? Rods, think about them like this. They actually refer to the shape of those parts of the eye, and cones are like this, okay? So rods and cones on the retina of the eye. So the retina is the back part of the eye. If you can think about it, it's the colorful center part of your eye. So the colored center part, that's blue or brown or green. Okay. Hina says it's too scientific. If one cannot do it at this level, what then? Hina, again, don't stress. So I'm showing you the highest level, but if you don't know it at the level of the rods and cones, then go to the level of the retina. If you don't know the level of the retina, then say the eyes capture colors, okay? So the human, so this is the simpler one, Hina, and you can still get a very high band score, 758, with simpler English, okay? So the eyes capture light, which is interpreted as colors by the mind. Okay, so you can do it like that, Hina. All right? Okay, now as you can see, members, some of you are familiar with these words. So Dr. Krishna does know the words rods and cones. Pooja does know refraction, absorption, and transmission, right? So some students do know this. So if you know it, use it. So I'm teaching all of you, remember that, not just any one of you, and I'm hoping to show you from the band 758 all the way to the band 9, okay? All right, so if you don't know the technical word, don't worry, keep it simple. Get it for the next one. All right, so that's what, why, how. All right, now the controlling ideas. What is the first question? So when you're thinking about the controlling ideas for this question, what should you ask first? Okay. So does color affect mood? Absolutely. You don't need to answer that because I think all people agree that colors have an effect on human behavior and on mood. So that's kind of a rhetorical question here. Okay. Yeah, so Rajveer says, what is the impact of colors on human health and work capacity? Good. Very good, Rajveer. Very good, Rajveer. Very nicely put. Nice and concise. Okay, so the answer, certain colors can improve the rate of healing and productivity, while other colors may do the opposite. Okay, so I'm moving us along here a little bit. Why does this happen? Okay. The first question was really good. The answer comes in easy here. Yes, Alves, color therapy would be considered a type of homeopathy. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, so the first question was very good. I think the answer gives itself very quickly. It's these next questions, it's the ones that are maybe a little bit more of a thinking type question that you have to really pay attention to. So why does this happen? Why do certain colors impact us positively, and why do certain colors impact us negatively? This is the important question. What do you think? And there are several answers for this. Okay, so why would certain colors make us more productive and help us heal, while other colors would create maybe depression and a lack of motivation? So why would that happen? Okay, so Samuel says because of the experiences gained through our ancestors in genetics. Okay, very good. So it is a result of the experiences gained through our ancestors and passed down from generation to generation through genetics. In genes. Okay. How? And this would be, yeah, exactly, Samuel. So Samuel's answering the how question. Now, Samuel, don't confuse the why and the how, right? So how did this happen? Okay, very good. All right, that's a very, very good question. So how did this happen? And this is where you want to think about examples. So think examples here with the how. Okay. Give me an example of a color that means life, healing, health. What would be that? Okay. So visualize here, of course. Visualize. And this is why I love this question, Dr. Krishna, because it really motivates you to visualize for this. Okay. So Daniel says, because people associate certain colors with certain experiences. Exactly. So visualize. Here, what color makes us feel life, vitality, and energy? Okay, and there's a whole science behind this, and you don't have to be perfect with these, but what's the color? It's used in 80% of all advertising. Okay. Samuel says red, blood, danger. Sure, that's a different one. Okay, so red, blood, danger, stop. Okay, or important. Okay. Life, vitality, energy. That's right, Alves, it's blue. Okay, that's why 80%, students, 80% of all advertising that you'll see has blue. It is by far the most used color in advertising is blue. Okay. White is peaceful, for example, right? White, peace, purity. Okay. Gold is value, or sorry, yellow. Gold is, of course, as well. Value. So these, and now, of course, think of how green is relaxing. It's nature, peace, purity. Exactly. Right. So think of how, of course, think of these as they may relate to the workplace and hospitals. Okay, so we took a while to get all of these ideas out, but of course, in the real exam, these thoughts are going through your head quickly, and you're going step by step. Don't jump around, go through Yeah, so Sammy says A help is blue. Yeah, exactly, Sammy. We did not choose those colors by accident. You're absolutely right. We chose blue and green for A help and GL's help on purpose. So you can see these color schemes on our websites. They're very, very purposeful of our hero as well. Life, vitality, help, assistance, okay? Green, nature, purity, and so on. So definitely the color schemes on our websites are based on the effect that colors have on people's behaviors. Absolutely. Very good eye, Sammy. Good for you. Clever, clever, Sammy. Clever, clever. Okay, so let's do the introductory paragraph together. Okay, let's start with the hook. Oh yeah, before we do that, of course, let's get our most important sentence out here. I don't want to rush. Let's get our thesis out. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what it should be. Based on the information that we have so far, come up with the thesis. Okay, so what is color? It's the observed spectrum of light reflected by surfaces perceived by the mind. We see color to differentiate between objects and situations. How do we see colors? Our retina captures it and then sends it to the brain. What is the impact of colors on health and work capacity? Certain colors can improve the rate of healing and productivity, while other colors do the opposite. Why does this happen? It's our experiences and it's gained through our genes, our ancestors' experiences. Absolutely. How does this happen? Certain colors are intuitively associated with certain moods and situations, right? So certain colors are innately associated with various types of situations and outcomes. Okay, I didn't quite answer that accurately. All right, so what is your thesis? Now, before coming up with the thesis, of course, read the question, right? You should always think of... All right, let's see if we can get this back. Okay. So can everybody see the screen okay right now? Let's try to at least get this back. How are we doing? Is everybody okay right now to see it? Okay, cool. All right, yeah, that was tricky. I think there was a crash on one of the streaming softwares, but that's okay. It's working now, so it's fine. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see if in the meantime you've come up with your thesis statements. Okay. Yeah, a lot of moving parts in these live lessons, students. Okay, so Samuel says certain individuals disregard the use of tailored color palettes while designing health and workplaces. However, other experts and myself included that emphasis on color can lead to positive and sometimes ethereal effect to increase productivity and health. Okay, Samuel, it's not bad. It's quite complex. I think you're overcomplicating a bit. So I think you can keep it a little bit simpler, Samuel, and make it clear, okay? Remember, Samuel, your goal is not to impress the examiner, but your goal is to write an effective essay, okay? So simple is beautiful. Now, that doesn't mean use really simple language, but you don't want to overcomplicate either, okay? So I'll write a thesis here as well while we wait for some more thesis statements. Okay, so All right, so there's my answer. Here's my thesis, and then I'll look at yours as well. So it is absolutely important in the design of workplaces and hospitals to give due attention to color schemes, as it is proven that various colors can have a positive impact on people's productivity and recovery, while other colors result in less desirable outcomes. Okay. Now, I want to write about the negative first and the positive second, because I feel that always makes for a better essay. Various colors can have a negative outcome. On people's health or on people's productivity and recovery. While other colors result in positive outcomes. Okay, so I think going from the negative to the positive is always better. Okay, all right. Let's see what you have for your thesis statements, and then we'll compare. I see that lots of you are there. So Daniil says, due to humans' ability to recognize a large spectrum of colors, it is definitely true that people react differently to colors because of a bunch of associations and experiences. Daniil, that would be more for the background of your introduction. Okay, so I think you're confusing the background information with the thesis. Careful not to do that. What you're doing there, Daniil, is the definition and the importance. Okay, so careful. Pooja says color is a primary factor of visual interpretation which helps us differentiate and channel our feelings. In fact, some psychologists, professors of these colors have meaning. Pooja, same thing as Daniil. I think you're writing about the background and not your actual thesis, so not your position. Okay. Sammy, kind of, but also background. Okay, careful with that. So those are all more for the background. Rajveer says, it is true that colors have an impact on human mood, and these influence people's health and work capacity, as certain colors intuitively are associated with both positive and negative experiences. Rajveer, I would say experiences instead of activities, but otherwise you're on the right track. So you have your thesis points. Okay. All right. Samuel, hinder people's productivity. That's fine. Okay. So Dr. Krishna says, while designing medical and professional places, it is necessary to emphasize particular color palette, as it has an influence upon people's work capacity and recovery, both in positive and negative ways. Dr. Krishna, that is a Band 9 thesis. Beautiful. Pay attention to that one, students. In fact, Dr. Krishna, honestly, I think I like yours even better than mine. But very good. That's how you do it. Okay, so be specific. All right. This is not the background here. This is the thesis. All right. Okay, Samuel says, emphasis on the color palette is important while designing health and work spaces, as some colors can hinder productivity and health, while others boost confidence and happy thoughts. Much better, Samuel. Much, much better. Does everybody see how if you look at Samuel's thesis, you look at my thesis, you look at Dr. Krishna's thesis, the direction and the content of the essay becomes very clear, right? And you notice how the answer these essays will contain will be very accurate to the question that's being asked. Okay, does everybody see that? Give me a thumbs up if you think that that's the way it is, or give me a thumbs down if you think I've gone crazy. Okay, I don't mind. I like criticism as well, okay? Boomy says, although some individuals feel that certain colors have a negative impact on humanity, I completely agree with psychologists that many shades have positive influence on a person's mood and work. Not bad, Boomy, but be more specific to the hospitals and the workplaces. So you're close, but you want to be even more specific. Okay. All right, students, I'm not going to rush into the introduction. Sammy says, yeah, I got it. I can see that. Okay, Sammy, good. So the introduction, I'm just going to give you that for homework. And then tomorrow we'll write the body paragraphs. Rewrite your thesis for those students who are too general and writing it as the background. Rewrite your thesis and then think hook, background, thesis. Okay. By the way, we just had a whole bunch of students send us emails that they got some really high marks on their writing because they changed to this style of answering their task 2 essays. We had, I think, 3 or 4 students send us an email in the last couple weeks, and they said they went up from a band 6, 6.5 to 7, 5, 8, 8.5. So these students are improving by 2 bands following this strategy. Okay. All right. Looks like everybody's a thumbs up. That's great. Maksuda's giving a fist bump. That works too. All right, everyone. So introduction for tomorrow, and then we'll pick it up with the body paragraphs. The conclusion coming up in 30 minutes. We'll have a reading session as well. Hopefully, I'll see you shortly. Everybody who's watching, get all of our HD video lessons, access to our practice exams, and lots more help. Join our premium packages at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for the general IELTS. Use the code R4TYJ today. Get a 20% discount. We'll carry on tomorrow with this task 2. And today coming up, again in half an hour, is some reading, practice, and strategy. All right. You're very welcome, Michael. Very welcome, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.